And the next part of this verse I wanted to point out was the part where it says, abide in me and I will abide in you. Now that part, what's abide? Like some other versions say, rely on me or whatever have you. But it's hard because we only tend to seek God when we need something. Like, oh God, I really want this car, or oh God, I have a test in an hour. Please let me get an A when you guys didn't study at all. Like things like that. But the meaning behind this doesn't really rely on God for when you need something. It means live with God and have God live with you, like no matter what you do, wherever you go. So, that's what abide in me and I would abide in you means, okay? And if you go down to the next verse, right after that, it says, John 15:6, if anyone does not remain in me, he's like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. So, so you read this whole thing about fruits and, trimming and cool, all right, cool. And then it goes, boy, you're gonna burn. So you're like, oh, that's pretty rough, right? But the thing is that there's a benefit to doing all this, which goes on right after that, which says, if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be given to you. This is to my Father's glory, that you bear much fruit, showing yourselves to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Now remain in my love. If you obey my commandments, you will remain in my love, just as I have obeyed my Father's commandments and remain in his love. I have told you this so that my joy may be in you and that your joy may be complete. So basically, this verse is saying, look, I know it's tough, and I just threw out the little caveat that, if you don't do it, you die. But if you do it, you're going to gain everything. Everything. You have nothing to lose, everything to gain to follow, by following this verse. And so, what it means to follow this verse is basically, whatever you do, rely on God. When you're happy about something good happens, praise God. When you need help, ask God for help. And allow Him to reign in your life. Now, all these verses talks about like fruit and things like that. And the fruit, you might wonder, is what kind of fruit? What is fruit? That fruit looks good, but the actual fruit that is mentioned is in Galatians 5:19-25. Okay. The acts of the sinful nature are obvious: sexual immorality, impurity and debauchery, idolatry and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambition, dissensions, affections, envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. But the fruit, sorry, that's a lot. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. It's highlighted for you. Read it, think about it, reflect on your life. I mean, does your life reflect any of these things? And I don't mean to your boy or, your homegirl that, you're tight with or whatever. Like, in general, I mean, are you catching yourself constantly kind of like being nice or being generous to people that you normally wouldn't, Because those are the fruits that are mentioned. And if you have one of those but not the others, that's fine. God's gonna snip that off, and then hopefully you'll grow two of them. Fruits. And that's hey, read the part before that, the sinful nature part. All right, but the thing is this: is that okay? All right, let's boil this down to real life. A lot of us have hard times, like we go through rough times with, whether it be with family, school, relationships, kids, whatever, parents. And a lot of times we often kind of, withdraw from the entire situation and just kind of rebel, and just be like, F it, F you, I'm just gonna do whatever. But the thing is this, is that everything happens for a reason. God's not gonna put you through something that you cannot overcome. He that's a pruning process right there. I mean, he's giving you a hard time so that you go through them, you learn from it, and you become a better person. And that all goes to the first duty is to improve yourself, improve your spiritual walk, improve your relationship with God. Not all of us are in the exact same spot in our spiritual relationship, but all of us can equally use the same amount of improving. So with that, there's a couple different ways that you can serve to achieve that. Okay. First, this kind of sucks, but just force yourself. Kind of like if you have to do something you really don't want to do it, but you're always asking, hey, no, come on, please just do this for me. You just kind of force yourself to do it, right? Well, likewise, just think God all the time. I mean, if you get a chance, to get a moment to pray, even, pray, and but basically force yourself to turn to God, and it becomes a habit, and by it becoming a habit, it becomes regular, normal, okay, and then all of a sudden you realize, you rely on God a lot more than you ever did before. Another thing that you can do is to seek godly people. So if you hang out with other people that are more, spiritually mature, it'll help you grow. That also applies to your regular life. I mean, if you hang out with older, more wiser people, I mean, they're gonna, spread some wisdom on you, and help you grow. So likewise, hang out with spiritually mature people. That'll help you grow. You can come to prayer meetings that we have, sets, it's like a Bible study that we have, and help you kind of delve into the more in depth of, the different things that we talk about at church. Okay, so that's duty to yourself.